Hi, it's Christian, founder at carotul.com. We are the CCIE leaders, and today I'm going to talk to you about CCIE engineers and the new market. Yes, because probably you heard already a lot of noise out there. A lot of people, I would say during the last 2-3 years, they keep saying this thing all the time. Sometimes I really need to say, well, it's time to make a video about it. The new market. They say the new market is, and then they say ta-da-da-da. They say the new market is cloud. The new market is cybersecurity. The new market is SD-WAN. The new market is automation. So the new market is something that is not related to networking according to all this noise you hear out there. But you see, these people really don't understand. That's the problem. I mean, when they say something like that, means they don't have an idea about what they're talking about. Because, you see, the thing is, first comes the network. After, you have everything I just mentioned to you. Now, just think in an absurd way. Suppose that you don't have any network, you don't have internet. What would you think about those things I just mentioned to you? What would you think about cybersecurity, cloud, if you don't have the network, if you don't have the internet? Could you even think about these things? Of course not. And that's the main weakening point of these people. They really don't understand. Now, if you want to understand the new market, you really need to be calm and with a stable and focused mind. The new market asks more to a CCIE engineer than before. And you really need to understand why Cisco decided to make all the changes they made in 2020. Because otherwise you get confused. So let's start from the absurd. The way these people think. Because majority of people think this way. Majority of people believe that CCIE is useless, that the market doesn't need CCIE engineers anymore, and CCNA and CCNP are useless too because Cisco decided to remove all the labs from CCNA and CCNP. Therefore, they just need to go to a pub and drink a beer. This is what people believe. I make it quite plain and simple. Or, in another way, they believe that they need some entertainment, meaning they just go on YouTube and they find the best, let's say, possible engineers, that they know everything about anything, and they will confirm that bias, let's say, their belief system will be confirmed by these engineers that they say, oh, today we are going to talk about Linux, today we are going to talk about virtualization, today we are going to talk about Windows, and tomorrow we are going to talk about SD-WAN. Oh no, you need to learn now this stuff about cybersecurity. And every day they jump from one entertainment to another one. And the fascinating thing is that people celebrate this. All together, they celebrate this mess of keep changing things all the time. Now, if you follow me, you really need to understand that the reality is completely different from this. So the reality is really, really simple. And you really need to look at the reality into the eyes. There is a huge amount of work you have to do. There's no shortcut. I'm sorry. These people will tell you, no, but just enjoy, watch my video. I can make 1 million views. Right. Yes, they can, because they will make some entertainment. But the truth is that you need to follow the structure. You need to, first of all, become a CCNA engineer with solid foundation. When you are a solid CCNA engineer, you can move to be a CCNP solid engineer. And when you are a CCNP engineer, you need to go to CCIE. You really need to go to CCIE level. And I'm talking about enterprise routing and switching because you need to know how to build a network. And if everyone out there try to find a shortcut, find a way to avoid this because it takes too much time, well, they're telling you lies because you have to do this. There's no alternative to this. If you want to be an engineer, you need to be a CCIE engineer first. That's no alternative to this rule. And you see, don't get me wrong, out there, you'll find people in position earning a huge amount of money at CCIE level without the certification. Now, this is another story. And this I can absolutely confirm to you because I was one of them. I mean, there are so many people out there in position that they start their career without experience, of course, like everyone. This is another false belief that heavily circulates out there. But you start your career, you arrive at CCIE level, and you act on a daily basis. And at CCIE level, you earn a lot of money, you don't have the certification, and you feel you don't have the time to get this certification because you don't have the time to study, and the company doesn't allow you to study during the office hours. So this is another story. And it's totally true. But again, if you are one of those people, the problem is zero because you just join our Zero to CCIE program and you'll see that in a year, basically, you are going to be able to prepare your exam and you get your certification, which is basically a confirmation about what you know already, plus some extra information we are going to provide you during the training because, again, we understand that you work full-time, so you don't have the time to go and search this information on your own. But now, if you want to go back to the previous topic I want to discuss with you with the new market, the new market obviously asks for CCIE engineers. Follow me. Cisco decided to remove all the labs from CCNA and from CCNP, and don't forget there were 4 labs. There were labs in CCNA, there were labs in CCNP switch, there were labs in CCNP route. The CCNP T-shoot was only labs. Imagine the amount of labs we had to do before when we were taking these exams. Now there's no lab. Why? Well, the message they give you is extremely clear. You need to become a CCIE engineer if you want to touch the console, if you want to touch PuTTY, if you want to touch the terminal, if you want to go into the configuration details. And the reason is because when you are a CCIE engineer, you can troubleshoot. Then it's absolutely true that Cisco at the same time introduced new technologies. That's a matter of fact. It's true, and there is also a portion of automation, is true. There is also a portion of SD-WAN, is true. There is also a portion of programmability, is true. And you have to do all these things. But this doesn't mean that you can skip all the CCIE work. Because it's always the 80-20 rule. It's everywhere. You find it everywhere. In this case, 80% is routing and switching, so you need to know everything about EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, MPLS, multicast, and 20% is new technology. It's not like you believe, probably. It's the other way around. So you really need to become an engineer with solid foundation. You need to know how subnetting works. You need to know how IPv6 works. You need to know how BGP works. You need to know how OSPF works. You need to know how MPLS works. And then you can learn new things on top. And these new things are 20%. So I'm always saying these things because it's the truth. Foundation is the core. Foundation is what makes you a real engineer. After you can learn anything. People believe, on the other way, that you just need to focus on the new things. Cloud, cybersecurity, all this kind of automation, all this kind of stuff. And you can ignore the core, the foundation. No, doesn't work like that. And the market knows that. And the market, if you look, pay a huge amount of money, you can find it on your own, for CCIE engineers. And that's the reason, because they don't find them. They are already all in position, and there is a lack of CCIE engineers, because the way this works is very clear. There is more demand of CCIE engineers than offer. So there are less people certified than people asking for CCIE engineers in position. And then there is a gap between the salaries people offer, because of course, guys, works in this way in the market. The market is, is very simple. If I know that I can get more, I will ask more. So if they ask you for, let's say, okay, I offer you this position $10,000 per month. But you say, okay, but the other side, they offer me $15,000 per month. Why should they come to you? And you give this feedback back to the company. And the company has to take it. And they have a feedback. The market now is offering $15,000 for a CCIE engineer per month. So they need to find a way to pay CCIE engineers this amount of money. This is the situation. So the reality is exactly the opposite compared to what people present out there. People out there present a situation completely different. They say, no, 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 no. First of all, you need to know everything. You need to study everything at the same time. You really need to be a multicast person. Sorry, multicast. You need to be, let's say, a multitask person. So you really need to do so many things at the same time. Well, that's not true. You really need to learn first the foundation. And you really need to become a CCIE engineer. That's the truth, plain and simple. And that's also our strategy, if you think about it. Think about it. How we started this journey with you and how we plan it. We started from CCNA, we moved to CCNP, we moved to CCIE. Then we realized that we could take anyone from scratch, from absolute zero, straight to CCIE. And we created Zero to CCIE. Has been a massive success, is a massive success, and people enjoy this system all the time. You can read feedbacks everywhere. And now that we finished this and we are basically publishing SD-WAN, we are going to introduce Juniper, which is basically the same concept of CCIE, Cisco, but with a different vendor. And with a little bit more complexity, but you really need to know also this, because when you work for a service provider or for a data center, you realize that internally all the devices are Juniper, not Cisco. Then they deliver Cisco in customer premises, of course, for obvious reasons. And you see Cisco everywhere, again, 80% Cisco, 20% Juniper. But those 20% Juniper are in the data center. And you need to know about it because are the devices, if you are working there, you are managing. So it's really fascinating. And you really need to understand the, let's say, the relation between Juniper and Cisco. So you really need a training, 52 weeks, that goes into the details starting from scratch, like in Zero to CCIE. That's why now, after 3 years, we are creating Zero to Juniper in another massive work. But can you see how stable is the project? Cisco, CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, Zero to CCIE, Zero to Juniper. And after, when we finish all this, I can already present you something because we are towards the end of the year, so I know you want to know what's next. After, we have 3 new programs coming for the next 3 years. So we have a CCIE service provider, which makes absolutely sense. Think about it, because you have already CCIE level, CCIE certification, routing and switching, enterprise, Juniper knowledge, now you can learn service provider. Why? Because at this point you complete your profile perfectly. You just go into the details about MPLS, into the details of ISIS, into the details about the major protocol used by a service provider, and you know already CCIE and Juniper at the foundation level and at the CCIE level, the highest possible level. You have strong foundations. You can learn service provider, I would say, in 6 months. After that, when you complete all this stuff, we present you also, this will be in the coming years, don't expect it next year, but we'll present you CCIE security and CCIE wireless, because these two technologies are really linked, combined, and really in demand. Why linked, combined? Well, because you think about it. When you know how to learn and how to implement everything about a network, then you need to secure the network. And when you secure the network, then you need to expand the network. And you realize that you need the wireless, because it's always like this. You can't rely only on the physical. There will be a moment when you're at a certain level, you are working in situations where you are going to implement also the wireless. And here comes again security. When you start the implementation of the wireless, the first concern everyone has is security. So you really need to have these two components very clear, and you really need to combine both things at the same time. So you see, this is your picture in front of you. You say, okay, but in this way I need 5 CCIEs. Well, we are going to create actually 7, because we are going to cover all the 7 CCIEs. One is already done, and Juniper doesn't count because it's another vendor. I already informed Arpit that we are basically starting with 2 with service provider. So this is the thing. You see, you really need to understand that this is what you have in front of you. So it's not true that you have to skip the foundation and focus on the 20% of new technologies. This is rubbish, sorry. The truth is that there's no shortcut, that you have to start from the foundation, and after, when you have solid foundation, you can add, you'll have to add new things, and new skills, and new knowledge, and new know-how with the new technologies. And can be absolutely easy at that point to add new things. And I'm now stopping here because I already had a lot of projects. So many years are covered, but I could continue, because I can tell you, you could learn about, let's say, F5 for the load balancing, for example, and you could learn Fortinet for the security. You could learn anything, Sonic Wall for the firewall. You could learn so many technologies, so many vendors, and you'll notice, you'll be shocked that when you have solid foundation, after adding stuff will be super easy, because everything is about foundation. If you don't have foundation, well, everything will become so difficult, because every time you'll get stuck and you say, oh no, I don't understand, so it's too difficult for me, I can't do that. Well, of course you can't, because you don't have foundation. And you are just following some ideas of people, they have foundation, and they find a way to propose you some entertainment. That's something really true. And you can find it everywhere, and it's very popular, and people celebrate. But really, I don't understand what they are celebrating. Because, I mean, they are celebrating these guys that they have solid foundation, and they have a very good knowledge, and they have a lot of enthusiasm doing this entertainment. Yeah, but at the end, what about your results? I mean, you need to focus on your results, not on other people's results. It's your results. It's you. It's about you. You need to learn. You need to arrive at CCIE level. And you can't say, oh no, but it's too difficult. I prefer staying there, getting some entertainment, and somehow I feel like I am like him. Well, but yeah, I understand that, because it's like, for example, I already talked about it. When I was young, or actually for a very long period of my life, I was a football supporter. I really liked football. And you watch football and you feel like you are a football player. And you support the team and you feel like a football manager. And yeah, you can enjoy and you feel the emotions. And at the end, if you win, you are very super happy. Right, but it's not you. You are confusing things. I was confusing things. Because if I really wanted to create my life based on football, well, I needed to play football. And after, if I couldn't play football, well, I had to be a football manager. But I had to do something, but I didn't. I was just watching football. And that's exactly what people do with IT. They just spend some time watching videos, and they say, oh, so nice, I learned so much, really. But the truth is that you don't get any certification, you don't get any offer, and then you come out from the job interview saying, oh, no, it's impossible, you need experience. Well, that doesn't work like that. Let's say that instead of saying you need experience, that's obviously, I don't know where this came from, because it's really repeated everywhere, it's rubbish. But you really need to say, I don't need entertainment. I really don't need entertainment. And what's entertainment? Entertainment is something that arrives to you and is not complete, is not structured. You don't have any reason to continue doing it, but you keep doing it. This is entertainment. So it's really like watching football. It's the same thing. I mean, you are there and you are, you have a goal, and you sit in front of your computer, and you open YouTube and any kind of video, and you see someone who's very good and proficient doing things, and you don't have to do anything. Well, what you get at the end of that video? Well, but I understand. Yeah, but then you really need to practice. Well, but I don't have the labs. But that's the thing. You really need to have the labs. And that's why we created basically half the program in Zero to CCIE with the labs. And then people start saying, well, I need to start with the labs from day one. No, you don't need to start with the labs from day one, because you need to learn first. You need to learn what to implement in the labs, and then implementing into the labs. You need a structure. You actually don't even need to start from the technical. This is something that no one tells you out there. You really need to start to control your emotions and to be able to start your activity every day. You have to become a machine. You have to show up every day, irrespectively if you want to do it or not. Doesn't matter. You're not following some entertainment. You need to change your way of thinking. You need to start your program. You need to arrive at the end. And when you are a CCIE engineer and you have solid foundation, then you can start planning for the next step. Then you can start saying, I want to be a Juniper engineer. I want to be service provider engineer. I want to be security engineer. I want to be wireless engineer. Why? Because you are already a CCIE engineer, a CCIE enterprise engineer. So think about it. This is different. And when you do that, well, that's a committed decision, because when you are already a CCIE engineer, so you have already your digits, your certification, and you are for sure in position, because I never heard about a CCIE engineer unemployed in my life. What happens is that you are really serious when you say something like that, because you know the amount of work needed to arrive at CCIE. So before saying, I want to be a Juniper engineer, well, you say, okay, I mean, I will do it because I did it already. I can repeat the experience, but you know what you have to do. You know the amount of information you really need to receive and you really need to implement, and you know the amount of time needed. You know the reality, you know that there is no shortcut. So it's not true that it takes 10 years, you can make it in 1 year, you can study 1 hour per day, 5 days a week, but you have to be consistent. So you learn these things. And when you accept this, everything will become easy. Because you see, the thing is, you need to show up. It's simple like that. You don't have to stay there getting entertained. And I have really this impression that there are people that say, oh, no, I can do like 5 hours. Yeah, because you have 5 hours of entertainment. But do you think would be difficult for me staying 5 hours listening to these things from a passive point of view in an entertainment level? Well, it's extremely easy and become easily a habit. But at the end, you don't get anything. Say, oh, no, but it's better than other things. Okay, yes, I agree. I mean, it's better listening someone who's talking about Fortinet or Juniper than losing completely time with something really useless. But still, you really need a structure. You really need to work toward your goal. You really need to have a plan, and you really need to have all the tools to execute your plan. And when they say to me, this is the main objection, and this is absolutely true, you can do everything on your own. Yes, this is absolutely true. Technically, you can fly an airplane, you can drive a car on your own. You don't need a driving license, you don't need lessons. You can just go into the car, don't do it, and you can try driving, don't do it, but you can. There are people they do, and there are people they drive without driving license for years, and if they are never blocked by police, they can continue. And sometimes they even become good, but that's not the right way to do things. And this is another lesson I learned in my life. It's really important. You really need to understand that if you want to get the best from your life, you really need to understand who are people that can help you to arrive there faster and with solid foundation. Because you can arrive, and there are examples out there. Think about it. There are people, they fail the CCIE exam 4 times, 5 times, and then they succeeded. This is amazing from, let's say, the strength these people have, the resiliency they have. Because you see, it's very important. You fail and you continue. You fail, you continue. You fail, you continue. However, my objection to this is, well, but the reason is because you wanted to make it on your own. You wanted to try to do everything on your own. And look about how many years you lost in this process. And then you made it on your own, and okay, you are successful. But do you believe that this is the best way? No. The best way was going to people like us. We are the only ones, to be really honest, that have a structured program for the Zero to CCIE. And arriving there with solid foundation, understanding everything, passing the exam the first time, and investing 1 year of your life. Then you still have all the other 4 years that you lost for learning new stuff, like security, wireless, programmability, automation, SD-WAN, all the things you want to learn. And you can learn with us. This is the best way. Yes, you invest some money, but think about it. They say, okay, but that's way I don't spend money. But it's not true. Think about it. If you fail the exam like 3, 4, 5 times, you invest $10,000 plus the airplane if you have to travel to go to the Cisco test center, plus the hotel. I mean, at the end of the day, you spend more money, much more money, but most importantly, you lose a huge amount of time. And trust me, this is another lesson I learned in my life. Time is much more important than money. Money, especially when you are at CCIE level, comes in any way. I mean, I have to teach sometimes to increase their request, because I really don't want to hear salaries inferior to $10,000 per month. I don't want to hear that. But money comes. Even if you don't do the effort, you can earn easily that amount of money. So you really need to understand instead that what you have to do is having a strategy and be committed and be consistent. You really need consistency, and we teach you how to develop consistency. But how can you develop consistency? Only if you have the right program. Because if you try to do everything on your own, you'll fail. This is what majority of people do. And then there are people that say, no, but I fail, but at the end I will succeed. Yes, I know, but how much time you lose? And there are also a lot of people out there, they try to teach, but they don't have the right attitude. They don't have, either they are too boring or they have too much enthusiasm. There's no the middle way. There's no the way where you are serious and you can pass the right information to the others without being boring. They really don't have the right tools, and they don't invest, most importantly, all the needed time to start from scratch. They start basically from a level where only engineers can learn, and that's not correct. You really need to start from zero so that everyone can learn and can arrive at your level. But this is also the point. I believe majority of people, majority of engineers, they don't want other people to arrive at their level because they feel like they need to protect their knowledge. And here's where we are completely different from all the others. We really need to share what we know, and we really need to have only one specific objective, one specific goal as an organization. We are the CCIE leaders. Why? Because for us, the only metric is our student success. This is the ratio. This is the only thing that counts for us. We want to see people getting success, and we see it. We see, first of all, a practical success. We noticed so many times already, now it's obvious that when people start with us, in about between 7 and 15 weeks of program, they already find a job or they change the job and they're happy in their position. And then we see already the results. We see people getting certification. They share this information on our private CCIE group and they celebrate together. This is not a program where people, let's say, they are jealous or they envy the other because they get success. No, here is a place where everyone celebrates. And this is so important, but there is a reason for celebration here, because they get results. It's not you are watching something passively and you are celebrating other people's successes. No, here you are celebrating your success. So this is the thing. Of course, doing something like that takes much more time and you need to be serious. That's why we created a 1-year program. For us, it took us 3 years to create a 1-year program, as you can imagine. But we didn't leave out anything from this program. There is everything, step by step, totally sequential. And the last 20 weeks are totally dedicated to your labs, to your hands-on. So there is really no way you don't arrive at the end and you don't get success. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. It's a matter of when you will arrive at the end, you'll get your success. So having said that, you really need to understand that at the end of the day, the new market asks for CCIE Enterprise Engineer. That's the thing. And also, you know why they ask for CCIE Enterprise Engineer? Because when you are CCIE Enterprise, means you can learn anything. Because everyone out there try to skip this. Because it's obvious the reason. They say, oh, I would like to start from service provider. I would like to start from security. But you know why? Because everyone knows that CCIE Enterprise is where Cisco put everything. So in CCIE Enterprise, you'll find all the routing and switching, which is a huge amount of information. But you'll find also wireless, security, SD-WAN, SD access, programmability. So you'll find everything. in Cisco CCIE Enterprise. Everything. That's why they removed also all the other CCNA. Think about it. Why Cisco removed all the CCNA? When I was young, anyway, years ago, I could do CCNA, wireless, CCNA, security, CCNA, service provider, CCNA, data center. Why there's no CCNA anymore? There is only one CCNA. Why? Because Cisco said, no, you have to do it. You have to do it. Because people try to skip. Think about it. People try to skip. Cisco say, no, you have to do it. And they're right. And I see people complaining out there. Oh, no, it was better before. No. Cisco is right. They are right. You can't skip. Like when they say, this is the best. You don't need any more CCNA to become CCNP. You don't need any more CCNP to become CCIE. You don't need any more CCIE written. You just need to have CCNP anchor. And then you can try to pass the lab straight away. This is the best. But probably even one thing that is really fascinating is when they say, you don't need any more labs, CCNA, CCNP. You don't need, because anyway, it's too little what you do from the lab point of view, CCNA, CCNP. So I don't want you to go slowly when you arrive at CCNA or CCNP level. You really need to understand that when you start, you really need to be CCIE engineer. So you need to arrive there if you want to practice, if you want to do the labs. So you can't skip. The message they give you is clear. You can't skip anything. You need to know everything. There's no shortcut. You need to do the work, and you really need to become a CCIE enterprise engineer. This is the message Cisco gives you. Plain and simple. So become a CCIE engineer. Schedule a call with me right now, because this is the thing you have to do. This is what is needed. Don't listen people that, oh, no, the cloud. What about the cloud? You can learn it, but if you don't have the network, if BGP is down, there's no cloud. I hope you agree with me. Because if you don't, well, think about it. Well, but the future is the cloud. Well, the future is the cloud, but if there is BGP down, there's no future. So you really need, first of all, to understand how having BGP up. And when you have BGP up, then you can work at the cloud. Then, when BGP goes down, well, go back to BGP, fix BGP, and then you can come back to the cloud. Think about like this. It's like when you are at home and you are playing some video game, or you are learning something on the internet, and your internet connection goes down. What are you doing? You don't say, oh, but the future is the video game. Well, if you want to play that video game and it requires an internet connection, you need to fix your router. You know it, and you know how to do it. So if you tell me, well, but the future is not that. The future is to be offline. All right, I take it. If you believe that the future is to be offline, and I don't have anything against that, well, in that case, I'm with you. So you say, okay, there's no internet anymore. Internet is down. We don't use it anymore. We turn off. So we don't need the smartphones anymore. Okay, I take it. We turn it off. So you go out, you don't see people with a smartphone checking something on the internet. You don't see anything happening in your house related to the internet. Everything is down. And you see people in the library, which is very good, by the way, and reading, which is very good, by the way, and learning the old way. Perfect. Is this the future? Come on, you know that this is not the future. This is some idea you have in your brain just because you got too much entertainment. We'll arrive at the cloud, trust me, but this will be the last, very last. We'll arrive at the cloud when we arrive at the blockchain. And by the way, let me tell you this, because probably you know that we are working at the blockchain. It takes us another 2 years at least, minimum, before publishing this 52 weeks program for the blockchain. It's massive, and I expected to publish this year, no way, another 2 years minimum. Sometimes people write below our videos things, I have to remove these things because they say, oh, again, they celebrate, oh, I learned from this lady amazing stuff. You can put like $100 and you can get $100,000 in no time. Guys, I really don't know. This is even worse than people, they say you need experience or you just need to learn the cloud, forget about the wired. I mean, there's no such a thing. That's why it takes us so long to publish the blockchain program. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to have results. You need to have a clear structure, and you need to have clear results before you can push this to other people, before you can help other people to get results. So just to give you an example, with our Zero to CCIE program, we needed 10 years experience teaching in class, CCIE level, plus 3 years, practical 3 years, to put together all the program, because it's a massive work. No one wants to do that out there. But now we finished, and it's an amazing program. It's unique, because we also know no one wants to do that out there, because they want to create 100 programs and selling 100 programs in 1 year. I know how it works, but what you can get, again, we are not multitask. We can do only one thing. And for blockchain, you need to wait, unless you decide to listen to, I'm so happy to hear from this lady how to transform $100 in $100,000. But what happened in there is that you lose $100. I hope that you don't need me to tell you, because this is what's happening. Or if you're lucky, you transform $100 in $20. But this is what happened. So, guys, really, let's be really serious. There's no shortcut. It doesn't work like that. If you want to understand what the market wants and the new market wants, you really need to understand the market. So to understand the market wants CCIE engineer, CCIE enterprise engineer with solid foundation. This is what the market wants. Want a person that show up in the interview, is very calm, very stable, clear mindset, can answer all the soft skills related questions, and can demonstrate to everyone that they are able to, let's say, stay in an environment with other people without creating a mess, because this is what people want. The first thing, 80% this stuff. But then there is a 20% technical. You really need to know that, because if you want to be an engineer, they will ask you technical questions, you need to answer. And what you answer when they ask you technical questions, you need to answer in a very solid way. You need to show that you have foundations. And the question doesn't surprise you. So, oh, I know. It's not like something that, oh, talk about MST. This was something really rough for me. I never forgot this. I was in Lausanne, in Switzerland, doing this interview. I had to drive for hours, and then they asked me something about MST specifically. This was a Chinese guy, very, very clever, and he asked me something very specifically about MST. And I didn't know the answer, or I arrived at the answer, but in a way, I wasn't very stable. Well, guess what? I don't get the job, but of course. But not because I need experience, because I didn't study MST in the right way. So now, with this program, when I arrive at MST part, I put all my focus every time on MST, even if I don't need it anymore. Because today I'm 49, I'm in pre-retirement in Thailand. So I don't need it, I don't need MST, but I want to know it. Because that time I couldn't answer that question. I want to know MST in details. I want to be a master in MST. And when they ask me MST, for example, if I decide playing to do the labs and get the certification, because it's fun when you don't have to. It's fun, so I will do it. What happened is that if they ask me MST, I will be so happy. And not saying, oh, I didn't know the answer. No, you need to know your stuff. You need to develop solid foundation. There's no shortcut. You need to know everything. You really need to know everything. So the market wants this. They want people able to learn anything. And don't forget that when you get a new job, you'll need to learn everything. That's why it's so rubbish when they say, ah, you need experience. But experience of what? What experience? The job you are doing now has no relation with the job you're going to do tomorrow. So you need to learn new things. I don't know. It can't be that happened only to me. They told me everywhere that I needed experience, but the truth is that every time I changed a job, and I changed a job so many times in my life, so many, every time I needed to learn everything from scratch, from zero. And another common thing is that no one helped me, or almost no one helped me. I had to learn everything on my own. So you see, this is exactly what the new market asks again. You need to have solid foundation. So if you prove that you can learn CCIE Enterprise, that is what everyone tries to skip, you can learn anything. Also, all the things other people try to skip. That's why, as a logic conclusion, CCIE salaries for enterprise engineer are very high. No one wants to do it, and you have to do it if you want to continue and you want to have success eventually. So this is the thing. So if you still didn't schedule a call with me, this is the right time to do it. Do it right now. Talk to me, Zoom session with me. Jump on this program, Zero to CCIE. Really, this is the time. Soon we are moving to Juniper. This is the time to jump into the program, become a CCIE engineer, and get certified and get the best positions, get the best salaries. Thanks. See you into the next one.